Yeah, it's something I've dreamed about for a very long time. I am gonna ride this thing from the length. We are starting a new adventure here at Highland Cycles. We are going to be building this lovely BMW 1100 GS into something pretty awesome, and we are going to do a super duper amazingly awesome adventure on it. If that sounds like fun, stick with us for this video. Here we go. All right, guys, so as you can see, I have a 1996 BMW 1100 GS. It has 86,600 and some odd miles on the clock. I got this from a very good customer and friend of mine, Mr. Rich Wojciechowski. It's a hard one to pronounce. It's a mouthful of letters, consonants, and anyway, Rich is an older gentleman, and he has decided that he is done riding this big heavy motorcycle, and I don't blame him. It is a giant heavy motorcycle. He's a pretty old dude, and I can't imagine him trying to pick it up, much less me trying to pick it up. So he gave this to me. Massive thank you, Rich. I appreciate it. I don't know if you're ever going to see this video, but thank you very much. It starts and runs. In fact, we're going to check that out here in this first video, but this is an intro to this bike and an intro to what we are planning on doing. Guys, it's a big deal. We're really excited. Yeah, it's something I've dreamed about for a very long time. The bike runs. It starts right now. It runs. The few little things I know it has wrong with it are the lights, these PIAs. One of them is not working, and like this coating on there's not. Anyway, he said he had an electrical issue with those lights. There's something going on in the harness. I'm not 100% sure what. We're gonna find out. But guys, what we are doing with this motorcycle is I am gonna ride this thing from Alaska to Tierra del Fuego, the length of the Americas. We're gonna start at the Arctic Circle. We're gonna ride all the way to Ushuaia, the southernmost town on the planet. Unless you want to count parts of Antarctica as towns, but those are really research stations, but you know what I mean. It's the farthest south, actually, town. It's something I've wanted to do for a very, very long time. Something I've been planning on and gonna make sure happens, but I haven't figured out exactly how or when. But now I know. I feel like this is God's way of saying, Morgan, it's time for you to make this thing happen. I'm inviting you guys along, not only via YouTube and watching all this and this great, crazy adventure of making sure this thing's roadworthy and worthy for a trip like that. But then I'm also inviting any one of you guys who wants to actually join me. Please reach out, Morgan at highland-cycles.com. I am looking forward to bringing people along on my adventure. If it's for the whole thing, part of it, the end of it, the beginning, I don't know, whatever. I don't know how exactly that looks, guys. But that's the plan. The timeline is going to be the fall of 2026. The goal is to be in Alaska in the fall, not too late, obviously, so it's not too cold and snowy up there yet. Ride down through the United States, cross the equator as it's becoming summer down there and turning winter up here, so that we can time it well and get down to the south while it's actually nice weather, or nice-ish weather. I've actually spent a fair amount of time in southern Patagonia, and I know that the weather down there is just not very, very nice. But it has nicer times than others. So, along the way, guys, we're gonna be, like I said, going through this thing tip to tail, every last piece that we can. I'm not gonna be like rebuilding the motor, I don't think, although I don't know. We don't know what we're gonna get into with a bike with 86,000 miles on it, so I don't really know. But I do know, like I said, it starts and it runs. It sounds fine to me. In fact, let's fire it up and check it out. Voila! The magic of a BMW Boxer motor. As much as I love making fun of Beamer guys, and I love giving a hard time to people who call these adventure bikes and ride them to Starbucks, the reality is, oh here, I'm learning this thing. It's fuel injected, you guys don't know. It is fuel injected, oh here, there we go, there's our first issue. It's got a little fuel leak there. I had that problem when I first got it. It's got like multiple hose clamps right here. They're like loose, and then that one, So I'm gonna turn it off so I don't burn the thing down and so you guys can hear me. But obviously this thing, like I said, it's got 86,000 miles on it. It's in 1996. It's gonna have some things like that we're gonna have to dial in. Yes, it's got the shaft drive. That could be an issue. We're gonna have to dig into that thing, make sure we service that thing up. While this series of videos is all about the big adventure that's coming and all that, and making sure that this thing is good for that, and me delving into actual true adventure riding. I've done a lot of dirt biking. I've ridden motorcycles a lot of places. I've never really camped off of a motorcycle except for my XR one night in Moab. I've never done extended trips camping off them. So like this is my first real foray into that. But this video or this series is also going to be about what you should do if you buy a used motorcycle. Obviously, we're going to be working on this specific motorcycle, but this is going to be kind of a general idea of what you ought to do if you just buy a used motorcycle and you want to make sure it's all good. So we're going to be going through things like obviously changing oil, adjusting valves, checking the drive shaft, making sure it's good, new tires, suspension work, let's see, drive shaft on this thing, all the electrics. So we're going to go through all the electrical stuff and make sure it's all going to be good and not going to fail on us out there in the weeds. There's no Kickstarter, thank God, because I can't imagine trying to kickstart this big of a motor. The fuel system, checking that, making sure that's all good. Air filter, all the things, batteries, all the stuff you should be checking and like getting into on a bike that you buy used. Because, you know, our goal at Highland Cycles as a shop is to help you do that, like physically hands-on. But then as a YouTube channel and a content creator, my goal is to help you guys stay on the trail more and get out and ride and not have problems. That's why I give away so much information, is I really just want people to be able to ride flawlessly without issues and have fun. And I know that you can't all afford to bring them to people like me. That's why we're doing this at the home shop. We're here, like I said, we're at the home shop. I'm gonna be doing this all here. Well, yeah, as much as I can here. If I run into something that I just don't have the tools for here or whatever, it has to go to the shop, I'll be doing it. But generally, I think we're getting pretty close. Also, guys, this is an introduction into the lift from Harbor Freight. I just bought that today. No affiliation with Harbor Freight, which is sad because I paid a lot of money for that lift. They used to be a lot less expensive, but now they are expensive. Also, guys, I'm going to be learning a ton on this bike. I've done a lot of maintenance things on these, but I haven't done just a ton. So I'm going to be learning along with you guys on this. It's going to be a pretty cool adventure. I really hope you guys stick around. I hope you guys subscribe to the channel. The other thing is on this adventure into this bike, I'm going to be needing financial help. I cannot take off the amount of time I have to take off for this, pay for everything. I don't make enough money as a shop owner to be pulling that off right now. I've got lots of other things going on in my life. So I am going to be needing financial help. I'll be reaching out to sponsors. Maybe actually comment below if you want to see me do that, like see that be part of the video series, is how to reach out to sponsors, how to try to get money, get parts, things like that. Obviously I have a lot of help already and I really appreciate it. I think it's going to be a pretty cool journey in that way too. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, very informative. Maybe you guys could learn a little something from that. I don't really have much else to do on this video, but I do want to see if this lift will lift this giant heavy motorcycle. And by the way, comment below if you know how much this thing weighs. I don't have any idea. It's pretty much bone stock. It's got some crash bars and those big lights, but other than that, it's stock. But yeah, let's see if it lifts this thing up. It's a hydraulic lift. You're doing it with your hands or with your foot. It's got this super sweet lock. This thing weighs a ton. But yeah, this is a lock for the thing. I'll show you guys how that works here in just a second. So it just goes through that hole that will then butt up against the frame. So let's take the weight off of the ram. There we go. Pretty cool, guys. Thing to keep it kind of steady is it's got these little feet. You screw down because it's got casters underneath there. There you go. But those feet keep it from wanting to slide around and move. It's got wheels obviously back there, so it's actually relatively easy to move around. It's also pretty dang heavy, which I like. Got this little wheel chock, not nearly the wheel chock that my ones at the shop have. It just holds this bottom, so that will not keep it from falling over. Just kind of helps steady it. Little chock here kind of keeps it in place, which is cool. Oh, that's good. But obviously, you're gonna wanna use straps. Pretty cool, guys, there it is. I need to come up with a name for this. I name all my motorcycles. I know a lot of you, well, I don't know about a lot. There's some guys out there that hate me for naming my motorcycles. Only stupid people. Whatever, I like naming my motorcycles. It's a lot of fun for me. So, speaking of which, there's Loretta the Game Changer, who, after I melted that freaking piston, well, I didn't actually, anyway, after I overheated the living crap out of that motorcycle, and all I did was clean the cylinder up, hone it, put a new piston and gaskets into it. I had to put a new servo motor for the power valve actuator because that got melted too. The thing has been brilliant. I just raced it in a hair scramble. Managed to get 19th overall. Woohoo! And the bike was flawless. It ran great. It actually ran really, really good. Better than it was even before I melted it because I was overdue on a top end. But anyway, that's Loretta the Game Changer. We have Cecilia the Italian Beta. There she is. Actually, you know, you guys know I don't love that bike, but honestly, it's a pretty darn good bike. And actually, also stay tuned, subscribe, and all that stuff because I'm taking this hunting this year. It's going to be really cool. We got bags and stuff set up for it. And then we got Maria, the big red Mexican girl. So I love naming bikes. What do you guys think I should name the BMW? Obviously, I try to stick with things that have a little bit to do with their heritage. Loretta is a bit of a different situation there because I don't think there's any Austrians named Loretta, although I don't know, maybe. Probably not a lot of Austrians named Loretta, but most of my bikes get named a little bit having to do with their heritage. So, yeah. And again, you know, the Honda being Maria, it's not because Japanese named Maria, it's because she's a big Mexican girl that likes to race in Mexico. That's how she got named Maria. So yeah, let me know. What do you guys want to name this thing? I'm going to do something special for the person who comes up with the one I pick. Even though, I don't know, I might end up, there might be multiples of you giving me the same name. Anyway, comment below what you think I ought to name that girl. Guys, I'm so excited about this. This is a dream come true. 2026 fall, if you guys are interested, please reach out. Sponsors, anybody out there watching this, please reach out if you're interested in helping me out. Massive thank you already to Rocky Mountain ATV MC. They are on board. Huge thank you to Big Agnes. They have supplied a tent, sleeping bag, a bunch of camping stuff. They've supplied that for other reasons, but we're going to be using it on this bike. And then also Rocky Mountain is giving me a new set of bags coming. I've got the set of bags set for the Beta. They're sending me a new, bigger set of rackless bags for this thing. And then obviously just all the support that they give me anyway. Anyway, guys, I'm excited. I cannot wait. I think you can see how excited I am. I want to do it faster, but there's no way I can make it happen next fall, and definitely not this year. I just have too much going on. But 2026, guys, Alaska Tierra del Fuego with Highland Cycles on this bike. It is going to be rad. I love you, and we will see you on the next one. I think this thing's supposed to be able to hold like this.